Once again, coming up next here at the Music Token Conference, he has led a prolific career in music, having received 2 Grammy nominations and 1 win in his career. He later transitioned into film and television production, launching Noize TV in 2014. He is regarded as a unique voice in the entertainment industry, a creative technologist, and an expert in volumetric capture, spatial computing, and integrating volumetric performances across platforms and formats. He is a visionary on a mission, making it happen. Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of FüN Inc. Unit Conference. Make some noise for Paul Vowell. Give it up, y'all. Give it up, y'all. We got Paul Vowell in the house here at the Unit Conference. Let's go. How you doing, Paul?
I'm good, Noah.
Mic is muted.
I got
How you doing, brother? Good morning, man.
Good morning. Thank you for the introduction.
Yes, thank you so much for being here, man. Truly appreciate you, man. You're somebody that I admire, and you're somebody that definitely puts in work, and you definitely move with passion and purpose, and it's great to have you here. Actually just me as an artist experiencing everything you guys do, and with this network of artists as well too. I just wanted to kind of bring you into share some of your knowledge and share some of your experience with everybody here, and just so grateful to have you, man.
Thank you, man. If my mom heard somebody call me an authority, she'd probably roll over in her fucking grave right now. As you said, I was a musician for a very long time. Never once did I have the forethought or wherewithal to get into technology, or never did I see a need to as a musician or as an artist. Technology was a very foreign thing that was a crippler of art, if you will, a destroyer of freedom of expression and deployment of said art, which is ultimately why I started getting into it. What I do now, I never imagined I would do, and I'll get into explaining what that is. But I think first we should think about the need for it, and all take a minute to understand that right now, in time and technology, all of us are meeting in this moment from various parts of the world, congregating through the internet via viewable optics, and having a discussion about technology and music. When I was going into the industry, that wasn't possible. MySpace had just came out. We were learning how to put a background on a website, and that was unique. If your band had a website, whoa, you were way ahead of the time. There was no need for it. It didn't, gather any traffic or anything, but you were way ahead of the time. Now there's no need to even have a website. And so it's just weird how fast technology comes, how impactful the transition hits, and then how fast it is viewed as obsolete. This is a big problem for artists who want to make an impact. For example, it used to be important that you film a high quality music video. Now it's more important that you have a TikTok account. Right? That is a big transition in the way we deliver ourselves as intellectual property to an audience. With that being said, I guess I'll kind of get into what's happening next, guys. And I think that's why I'm here, to explain to the audience what happens next in technology and why you as an artist should care. Right now, we are at a big pivotal moment in history. Pardon me, I'm still on my first cup of coffee, guys. 6 a.m. here in LA. All right, so this transition that's happening, a lot of us see it. A lot of us see it in this hot word we know as an NFT. To explain that further, non-fungible token, meaning non-amendable agreement. Now, guys, I can't express how freaking cool that is from an individual who specializes in intellectual property. A non-amendable agreement means a million things to me as an artist, and none of it involves technology, guys. That's just a bunch of stuff. What it truly means to me is freedom. And the reason I find that to be a door of freedom and salvation as an artist is for a number of reasons. And I'm going to explain those real quick because I hope all of us have a general understanding of this future from at least where we're standing now. So as an artist, there's a couple things you need in order to move forward. You need legal, you need a lawyer, okay, and they're expensive. You need management, okay, an agent, all these other representations. Then you need collections in the form of BMI, ASCAP, whatever monitoring agency you're going to have to keep track of your residuals and make that shit flow. Then you have Chrysalis, who collects payments due from entities that you perhaps have placements on in a commercial or something or whatever. Okay, then you need a booking agent. All right, then you need some kind of entity to oversee all of that. Okay, then you need to hire someone to audit, to make sure you're getting your money. I won't even get into how many musicians I've worked with who are beyond poor, who are extraordinarily successful, and they do not have money because they do not have the ability to audit the record label. That's historically been the case. So when we get into what is a non-amendable agreement and why that matters, what we first must understand is what problems that eliminates. Let's start with the first one. Lawyers. Biggest one. Okay. What happens when you as an artist plans on deploying yourself, securing your intellectual property, getting distribution for your music, getting various outlets to participate and so on? What happens is a negotiation process, okay? And that negotiation process is literally just to define the words that go on a piece of paper that a lawyer seems fit for you to sign. That's it. But what happens when you sign that is you open yourself, and the entity who signed it with you opens themselves up for future litigation automatically. You also then need governing entities to make sure that your money is being processed properly and facilitated in accordance. What happens thereafter is even worse. You do not collect your money. You do not. Other entities do. And then you there ask them for your money and hope you get it. And if you don't, then you have to audit. Okay. That's the first problem that's eliminated with these smart contracts, which is an NFT. A non-fungible token is nothing but what's called a smart contract. And a smart contract is an assigned dividends of money. This smart contract is nothing more than a registration on blockchain, saying that this piece of data, okay, this folder of data that I put on the blockchain, I then wrote a smart contract around, allocating whoever buys this painting that my son made. The moment they buy it, first of all, I have to approve it. Okay, I get a notice to my crypto wallet saying Adnan wants to buy this digital painting that my son made. I look at Adnan's bid and I go, no. So I deny it. But then Noah sends a bid and he says, well, I would like to pay this much. I say, you know what, Noah? Yes. So I hit yes. What happens then is the intellectual property instantaneously gets transferred to him and inserted into his crypto wallet, and the money disbursement instantaneously goes to me instantly. Furthermore, what happens in this smart contract, if I have an agent, okay, or a management company that brought me into said situation or facilitated any transaction, this individual can be written into said smart contract as well, eliminating you and responsibility that you hold for facilitating payments there forward. Because in this future position, guys, as a musician, you will be in charge of you. You're going to be in charge of your career. You're going to be in charge of your money. You're going to be in charge of your perception and the value within it. but more importantly, you're going to be in charge. Guys, that means a lot. That means there's a lot of weight on your shoulders that you've never felt before. You're going to be in a different position. For example, when your agent comes up to you and says, hey, you know, things work different now. I need to get my 10% from you. So I need you to pay me now. You're in a wonderful position to go, that's interesting news, Fred. What did you do for it? Never once in our lives have we been able to ask that. We've always been busy asking, where is our money and how are we getting more? Right? All right, now the table's going to turn a little bit, guys, and it's because the control factor is going to shift. And this is all done through the distribution of intellectual property via NFTs. Now we need to discuss something different, since that's a hot topic that I hope most people are aware of in this world. But we need to discuss the value proposition. An NFT to a musician should mean something very different. Okay. Right now, NFTs are a JPEG. Adnan bought one. Okay. But a couple of them. He bought recently the Billionaire Ape Club. Okay. And let me explain why. First of all, because he feels that due to the popularity of this brand, that his purchase of one of them will elevate in value, making him money. All right. Now, this is what people view an NFT as right now. They don't view it from your perspective as a moment to safeguard your intellectual property. They view it as an opportunity to invest. It is much like artwork, okay? When you buy a Van Gogh or whatever you buy because you like that artist, if you are a collector of art, you buy it with the anticipation of it elevating in value. Music hasn't really been looked at that way, but it has by record labels, just not the consumer, okay? That's why the power has been in the hands of the record labels, but it's also been in the hands of the consumers. They just don't know. This kind of shifts the power. This makes it so me as an art distributor can have a direct line of communication with my consumer who has faith in my product and the growth of the brand of it. You see, Adnan also likes music. So let's say he happened to like my band. He doesn't, but let's say he did, okay? If he did, and if he said, you know what, I not only love this band, but I'm gonna always love this band. What Adnan's gonna do is purchase intellectual property from me as an artist. This could be in the form of artwork, an audio track, a music video, or I hope a volumetric performance created by my company. But whatever it is, whatever Adnan chooses to purchase from my music catalog or creative catalog of content, what he's doing is investing in his love of that intellectual property. Now, what we know is music and people who love music, they don't stop. I've been wearing the same Wu-Tang shirt for 20 fucking years strong, right? It has a lot of holes. But so did the financial institution that made sure that they got paid for that t-shirt that I was wearing, right? If that were a digital t-shirt and I was wearing it in Fortnite, they would have got their money instantaneously and no one else would have got a cut. More importantly, they wouldn't have paid costs for manufacturing. More importantly than that, what they would have had is a fan who spent money investing in their brand, investing in his ability to continue to create. And in return, I am gaining value. Meaning, I just invested in him. I am now the record label who gets residuals. Guys, this is so powerful. It's unbelievable, the implications, right? So now, let's say you want to put out an album. Okay. What you would do before is you'd go sign to a record label. They would put up the money for this recording. They would put up the money for the album art, and they would put up the money for the marketing of it and the distribution of it. But you have to pay that back. Recoupables. Okay. You might get a signing bonus. You know, in the 90s, you probably got a really good one. Early 2000s, now, forget about it. Forget about it. But what you will get is a recoupable bill handed to you saying you're not making any money. You're still paying back what you did. Okay. This is the only way, guys, unless you got a wallet of cash or a private investor, or you sell pot because it's possible and they don't have weed shops down the street and it's still a street game. So this used to be the only way. Now it's much different. Now what I can do is take the fact that I have a global audience, okay? And it could be 5 people. But if those 5 people, if 1 or 2 of them believe in what you're doing, what you have is a value raise, okay? One that finds value over the other, elevating that value, okay? Now, as an artist, what you can do is find something, a value proposition to hand to your fan. That fan will then hand you money. If you do this enough times, what you have is your upstart cash for recording that album, for distributing it yourself and having marketing to do so, to paying that agent to get you on tours. Let me tell you how much a tour bus costs, guys. A lot of cash. Tour buses are expensive. The one who makes the most money is the tour bus driver. There's a lot of bills involved, right? The goal is to not just minimize those bills, guys, but to own what you do in the end, right? That's when you start a tech company, it's hard to own what you do at the end because you have to take on investors who then have a controlling factor in what you do, or they like to think they do, or they hope they do, right? So this is problematic for all creators, okay? The control factor is the money. Always has been, always will be. That's why art has been controlled by money. Started a long time ago with the churches when they would tell artists and sculptors what they can and cannot create. And what they created was for this intended purpose, and outside of that purpose would mean you will get hung, killed in whatever form, and put on public display. This is history, guys. This has happened always. So the only resolve for these issues will be found in our ability to safeguard ourselves, safeguard our own intellectual property, but more importantly, limit the distance variable between the creation and the consumer. And when you can do that, you can find a door of freedom that we've never seen before as creators, ever. More importantly, what we can find is greater profits than we've ever seen. Digital concerts are not just the biggest thing in the world right now. They're the biggest thing in history of artistry and performance. Fortnite, Travis Scott was the biggest concert in history, guys. 45 million people, one place, one time. Never happened. Fuck concert. That's the biggest event in human history. And it was inside of a video game. I mean, the implications of that are massive. There's millions of kids out there who will say their first concert was inside of a video game. My kids are 2 of them. And they're wrong. That wasn't their first concert. But in their memory, it is. You know? And that's a strange statement as a father who's a musician, a live performer, but I'm also a video game creator. So I'm conflicted. I don't know if that's cool or not, right? But it's true, and it happened, and that's just what it is, and we need to understand that. So then we need to understand, if the biggest venue in the world is this digital world, how the hell do we get in it, guys? I mean, for real, how do I, as an artist, perform inside of Fortnite? Why is it Travis Scott got to do it? That's what I want to know. Well, he's got a better agent. That's what it boils down to. The reason why it boiled down to that is because availability, right? It took a long time to create that. It took 6 months and a couple $1 million to create that, because they needed 3D artists to first create the cartoon version of Travis Scott. Then they needed a motion capture team to rig him up, put all these sticky things on them. Then they had to get him to show up in LA to do it. That was difficult in itself. Then they had to put it all together. Then they had to package it up, make it possible to mend with their platform, and then they put it out, and it took 6 months. That's why they didn't do it the next day, when they could have made another $100 million instantly in a day, but they couldn't. So that's just not a problem for them, guys. That's a bigger problem for you. They made money. They don't give a fuck. They're still making money off that, but you're not. And the reason you're not is because the point of entry, access, is impossible. But what happens thereafter, if you guys are aware, and if you're not, I'm about to inform you, they got sued, right? Roblox got sued for that concert because so much fucking money was made. So much. The record label just couldn't let it go. They said, oh God, no. I don't care if you paid us 30 mil up front. I'm not okay with what just happened. Because they saw they are not the future, guys. Record labels you count on to distribute you, to put you out to the masses, because only they can do it that way. Guys, Fortnite did it better. They did it way better. They made me aware of who Travis Scott is. I don't know who Justin Bieber is. You know, so that's huge. That's a huge shift of power. More importantly, it scared the shit out of the record labels, to the point now every record label is hiring game developers. Guys, that's real. Okay, because they understand that's the world. All right, so what that means, though, is there's going to be a new contract, a new clause, right? Just like when the internet came out. Before the internet, guys, if you had a record deal before then, it didn't say digital distribution. And when the internet came, you lost a lot of money. I mean, millions upon millions of dollars were lost by artists, handed to them. They got to keep it all because it wasn't in your contract. Believe me, they know about this future, and it's in everybody's contract that's being handed out now. And all these reissuance of contracts are because of this. And they will own it. They will own it. And when they own this future, guys, you got to ask yourself, how far does it go? Is it a TikTok future where I only got to worry about 5 years of them controlling it? Is it a MySpace future where I don't even remember them controlling it? It was so damn fast. The answer is no. It is hundreds and hundreds of years, guys. We're talking about the new hot word, the metaverse. This is not something Mark Zuckerberg's creating. He wishes he was. But the truth is, the metaverse is device agnostic. It is platform agnostic. What the metaverse is the allowance of the user to hold his intellectual property and digital self and ownership of things he has, NFTs, play them in this game, but then go into that game and still have the same music, same skin, same looks, same whatever. Okay, a transference of information that a user holds to themselves. That is what the metaverse really is. And it is being created. And the implications of that are huge when it comes to distribution and the holdings of intellectual property and the consumer's consumption of it, right? How they're going to play your music, how they're going to view your music. If you as an artist have a three-dimensional representation of you performing inside of this virtual world. Guys, before, when I was in the music business, it was not my responsibility to get on my phone and flaunt myself. That was somebody's fucking job. I didn't have to do that, right? Now, if you don't do that, oh, you're getting nowhere, and you will not get a record deal. They won't even fuck with you because you're not self-promoting. You see, now you're doing the work yourself, but they're still taking that money. You're not getting paid for that. That's the future, guys. I don't want anything to do with that. And I hope you don't either. So as an artist, there's two things I'm here to tell you that you need to concern yourself with. And however you resolve that concern is up to you, whether it's by reaching out to me or whether it's by finding your own way. Doesn't fucking matter. There's two things you need to worry about. Securing your intellectual property in this new and emerging digital world, this new internet. Okay. And then second, having representation, duality of yourself inside of there, accessible to perform in whatever fashion. In a concert, in a music video, in a Cheetos commercial, just sitting outside of 7-Eleven, performing and greeting people, and they see you because they're wearing augmented glasses. Guys, the future is much different than the world we know now, but it is coming much faster than we understand. Virtual reality is the hottest toy in town. VR devices sold more than PlayStation. But I'm here to tell you, VR headsets are the pager, and the smartphone is coming incredibly fast. And the smartphone looks like these. And it doesn't send you into the virtual world, distracting you from your cause and objective. It sends the digital world to the real world, allowing you to participate all day. Right? So in the not future, guys, I have these devices now. I work on this technology right now. And not just in the future, but right now. The way we listen to music is George Clinton stands right funkin' here. He stands right here. And he performs right here. And I see him in all dimensions, walk around him. George Clinton's there. And the mothership flies into my office and beams down a bunch of people and we party. And that is how life is. That is how I consume music. And that is how my children will when they are teenagers. And as an artist, you need to really understand that. If they can see you, listen to you, and pay you. And these need to be thought about more than anything you're thinking about in your life. Who cares how many TikTok views you have? Who gives a fuck how good you're doing on Instagram? Tell that label to fuck off. Mint yourself an NFT today. Today. And that's all I've got to say, guys. Any
Give
questions?
it up, y'all. Yeah, let's open up the floor.
No,
if
you're
anybody has
muted.
any questions. Oh, I am. Am I good now? Can y'all hear
No,
me?
you're good now.
All right. Yeah. Let's open the floor to questions. There was one question from Tino Borgia here in the chat. He said there are some countries that don't allow intellectual property to be given away. How
Perfect.
are you solving that? Yes.
Perfect. You see, what you have are rules and regulations put out by governing forces. But what you're about to participate in is a global initiative that is not bound by local rules and regulations, right? What you have is a force that doesn't have all these lawsuits like America, right? America has frivolous lawsuits. You could sue anyone about anything. I mean, fucking anything. It's crazy. Literally, there's someone suing Pop-Tart right now because their strawberry Pop-Tarts are more apple. That's a lawsuit that's happening right now. Okay, that's America. All right. The thing is, though, when you think about blockchain, what the blockchain is, what cryptocurrency is, and then what a smart contract is, those rules, those initiatives, and those features cannot be stopped by any government ever. That's the point and benefit of this. That's why they're so afraid, guys. It eliminates our need for these governing forces. It's transparency. We don't need them anymore. Of course they don't allow that shit. And they're going to try and stop it, but they can't. Just like they can't stop you right now from listening to me talk. Why? Because you got the power of the internet, my friend. Connectivity. The only thing you don't have is a smart contract telling them to fuck off and telling him to give you money.
All right, then another from Joe Rotundi. He says, have you thought about issuing a fungible token on Unit, which is, of course, this is a Unit conference. He said that would be epic.
Okay, right now, I'm going to let Adnan partly answer this too. He is our blockchain and NFT expert. He helps write these smart contracts. Right now, what we are doing is building a visualized platform for the exchange of digital goods. We make volumetric performances, which are 3-dimensional captures of a human being performing. Noah will tell you all about it and show you some time. And then what we do is we send it off into the virtual world. We mint them as NFTs for purchase, but these are only valuable if someone can see them, right? So integrating this technology into viewable platforms like VR and AR devices became our initiative, but more importantly, distribution. But right now, all NFT transactions are done through Ethereum. Okay, now wrapping these transactions is 100% possible. In fact, that's Adnan's objective, is lowering the gas rate, burn rate, all these things. Wrapping tokens, all these clever new concepts that are being integrated into this future. As far as utilizing other coins for wrapping in transactions, we're still concentrating on how to make it so a 12-year-old can use his dad's credit card to buy your NFT and create his own crypto wallet. To us, that's a bigger issue right now. Accessibility to all in this world without fully understanding what it is, but having that initial security behind you. That's a huge objective. As far as perfecting and refining the transaction process, I don't feel that's our lane. That is Adnan's lane. Wrapping in whatever package to bridge the coins together is something we're absolutely looking into. But right now, the main transactions, all transactions for NFTs are done through Ethereum. So if there's a way to wrap that and bridge it, we would love to hear about that.
All right, and then one more question. I know we're a little over time, so thank you for of course, for hanging out. Last question: how do you recommend artists build community around their NFT?
Here's the thing: get on Discord, right? Discord is a forum for technology discussion. And more importantly, it's the driving factor behind this internet craze behind NFTs. Discord is where it's all happening. That is the community. Discord's the community. But guys, your brand will be that community too. Your job as a musician is to create a scene. Okay, that's your job, is to create multiple people who like what you do to the point to where it'll influence the way they dress, the way they look, and the way they hang out together. It creates a group, a tribe of people. This scene grows. This is what made Seattle, Seattle during the grunge period, right? And SoCal during the pop punk period. It was the scene, the congregation of people that all felt a certain way, all liked a certain thing, and all found a way to spend their money together and created Hot Topic.
Nice. All right, and then I'll post the links here, Anthony. You guys can go to 4dfun.io, and then you guys also on Instagram, it's 4dfun as well too, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for your time, Paul. And I know you got a full schedule today. And then I hit up Chris. Maybe I'll have him also join our Telegram chat group, and then so you guys could stay in the loop. And big thank you to Lexi, and then good to see you here. And we're so thankful. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Also, add Adnan to that Telegram. If anyone out there wants more information on NFTs and information on blockchain, and just clarification on how that applies to you and why you should care, this guy, he's the only reason I know this shit exists, right?
Okay.
But as an artist, But as an artist, I was able to understand why that applies to me. But without the information, you'll never be aware. So the discussion is the most important thing taking place right now. We have wonderful technology, but the best thing we can offer the world is information on the future and communication, and be the bridge between technology and artistry, not the destroyer.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, Chris, just if you give me admin's info, and then I'll add everyone to the group. But thank you so much, everybody. Give it up once again for Paul, Adnan, Chris Pack, and Lexi. Round of applause, y'all.
Thank you, guys. Cheers. Thank you,
Thank
Noah.
you guys so much, and I'll see you guys soon. All right. All right.
Yep.
Y'all have a great day. Thank you.
You too.